The Surfside condo collapse in June. The CBS 12 News I-team has been investigating how that tragedy could change everything for condo residents all over South Florida. The Boca Raton has passed a city ordinance establishing strict new inspection requirements for older buildings, and the Palm Beach County Commission was poised to do the same, but is now deferring to lawmakers in Tallahassee.
Yeah, so here's where things could get really tense here. If inspectors find serious problems, buildings don't have the cash to make the repairs, will officials force people out of their homes? And how soon can those inspections realistically take place, given the thousands of buildings that need to be looked at?
Yeah, so the I-team has discovered that one tool that could speed up the process, specially equipped drones. Here's Chief Investigator Mike Magnoli live here with us this morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's interesting technology. Give you a little more context. You remember after 9/11 when everybody was on the lookout for terrorism and there was that campaign, see something, say something? Well, when we're talking about condos, the new mantra is see something, do something.
What's happening inside the walls of a high-rise building? How much moisture has seeped in? And if cracks are visible on the outside, how deep do they go?
All the batteries are working, huh, Dirk?
Yes, sir.
This two-man team can answer those questions with their drone, thanks to its specially equipped thermal imaging camera. Dirk Sitchell and Bart Bruni won't tell us what buildings they've been hired to look at since Surfside. Their clients don't want any potential problems broadcast on TV, but we can tell you, they say they're seeing a pattern emerging. Sitchell and Bruni tell the I-team the most common problem they're seeing is corrosion, the penetration of salt water and salty sea air into the support structure of the buildings. In Surfside, investigators are working to establish whether corrosion was the primary cause of the collapse. Sitchell and Bruni believe that it was, and the past few months, they've found a lot more of it, which has been unwelcome news for some condo associations.
Pretty much every time we show them images, they're a bit surprised and taken back.
More than 900,000 buildings in Florida are over 30 years old. Every one of them holds up differently to decades of Florida's weather. But Bruni tells the I-team potential sources of corrosion are as easy to detect as seeing different colors.
The top colors are hot and the lower colors are cold.
Colder means more moisture. That's not good. This is a 16-story condo building along the coast, and this thermal imaging shows where water is trapped. See these areas colored blue and black. This is where stagnant water sits and over time softens the bones of the tower.
It's trying to evaporate, but it's just condensating and becoming water again, and it's just evaporating, condensating, and making water. That science is going over and over and over again. Has no way out until a chunk falls off the building. This is getting worse. This is getting worse. Well, maybe we should start a fund now.
This thermal imaging technology is used to look for body heat signatures of wildlife in the Everglades. It's also used to study asteroids in outer space. Dirk and Bart say its best application could be to save lives, to pinpoint corrosion trouble spots. But again, that knowledge is only half of the solution. Condo associations have to act.
Surfside obviously was an extreme situation. However, with the degradation and the deterioration that we see additional damage in buildings with water getting inside the building, water creating thermal exceptions on the outside and saturation that is degrading the building with time.
Palm Beach County Schools District now, their controversial mask mandate policy, well, it's going away soon.
The superintendent announced plans to let parents make the decision if their children should wear a mask when in school. CBS 12's Lily Ortiz joins us now with what parents need to know.
November 15th, that's when Superintendent Mike Burke intends to scale back the mandatory mask mandate, allowing parents to opt their child out of wearing masks once again. And while some agree with this big announcement, other parents feel waiting a few days just isn't right. A big announcement during the school district of Palm Beach County special meeting Wednesday.
On November 15th, we look forward to offering a little latitude to our families.
Superintendent Mike Burke plans to bring back the mask opt-out option on November 15th, allowing parents to submit a letter to have their child opt out of wearing a facial covering at their school.
I want to clarify that opt-out would be across all levels, elementary, middle, and high.
The superintendent says those who submitted the same paperwork during the previous opt-out provision earlier this year will be honored. But Burke says masks are still highly recommended.
We are still strongly encouraging families, children, employees to wear a mask.
For some parents, they want the new rules to begin now.
What are you really doing? Help us, not hurt us.
We the people, against your mask mandate, are tired of proving that the school board of Palm Beach County is breaking the law.
All eyes remain on Palm Beach County now that school districts like Broward made masks optional for students. But Burke says in order for Palm Beach County to loosen the mask mandate, the following conditions need to be met. All school-aged kids must be eligible to get COVID vaccines, which is now a go. A weekly positivity rate also needs to be below 8%. Right now, the superintendent says is at 3%. Also, the average number of new weekly cases must also remain below 50 per 100,000 residents per week, or a moderate level of community COVID-19 transmission.
I personally want optional, but I'm going to support the superintendent's commitment that he made.
Leaders also prefer the optional choice rather than opt out, arguing opting out could spark problems and enforcement issues in the classroom.
I am concerned about the paperwork burden, the monitoring burden on our schools.
And what's next for employees? Well, Superintendent Burke has not finalized those mask plans for teachers and staff members yet, and that seems to be on hold for now.
Florida's elections have been smooth and secure. Governor Ron DeSantis still pushing yet for more election reform. Among the new changes, restricting drop boxes and updating voter rolls.
As CBS 12's Danielle DeRoss shows us, the governor made the announcement in front of an animated crowd in West Palm Beach that included anti-Biden chants and a heckler who had to be ejected.
Florida just passed election reform laws this year, but Governor DeSantis says he wants to do more, and today announced 4 new proposals for the legislature.
How about Virginia?
Coming off of yesterday's elections, Governor DeSantis is announcing even more reforms he'd like to see in Florida.
We are excited to be able to say for next legislative session, we're going to do another package of election integrity reforms that is going to make Florida number one by a long shot.
He says he'll be asking lawmakers to pass another election security package that includes the formation of a new statewide law enforcement office solely dedicated to investigating election fraud.
This guy needs to be president.
I'm doing that.
What was billed as a press conference felt more like a political rally at times.
When you look at the Brandon administration in terms of what they're doing.
With 200 supporters in West Palm Beach breaking out into anti-Joe Biden chants like, "Let's go Brandon." Let's go Brandon! A phrase understood to be a replacement for profanity aimed at the president. Among the cheers, one heckler shouting what sounded like conspiracy theories had to be ejected. The governor's speech replayed popular talking points like his opposition to COVID mask and vaccine mandates, but he also gave a few more details about his election security package. DeSantis says he wants to further restrict where ballot drop boxes can be located and the hours they can be open.
First of all, I don't even think we should have drop boxes, to be honest with you.
After banning so-called ballot harvesting, he wants to elevate the crime to a felony, and he wants elections officials to have new timelines for reviewing their voter rolls and removing ineligible voters.
I am so upset about this whole package and the attack on democracy.
Florida Democrats, like State Senator Lori Berman, are already speaking out, saying without evidence of voter fraud, this is a solution in search of a problem.
People are beginning to question the veracity and the validity of our elections, and that is the last thing that we need the governor of our state doing, especially a governor who said that the election was fair and was run smoothly.